Hi everyone. We are just checking right now if I am audible and visible clearly. You guys can please send a message in the chat box if I am visible, audible. Awesome, very nice. Thank you so much, Rishika, Stuti. Okay, so as and when people will start joining, I they can start listening to it from the beginning, but we will just start in 30 seconds and let's see how it goes. We are going live for the first time, so even I am equally excited and nervous on how is it going to go. Okay, so my name is Shubham Bhatt and I am the founder of Psychoshala. I am a psychologist and I'm certified in cognitive hypnotic psychotherapy, transactional analysis, certified as an expressive arts therapist by UNESCO CID, and a couple of more institutions. Today, we are going to talk about a very important topic, emotional intelligence. However, before we start, I just want to let you all know that the only way we can communicate is through chat. Okay, because this is not a Zoom session and neither offline that we I can hear you and you can hear me. Yeah, so there are certain limitations, but we have the option of chat. So the more you interact, the more you ask questions, the more you reply to the questions, we would make it very interactive and you can get the best out of it. This is going to be for 1 hour today and tomorrow. So now as I we are starting, I just want to ask you one question, which is very important to begin with this session. How are you feeling right now? Whatever emotions you are carrying throughout the day, how have you been feeling throughout the day? It could be anxious, it could be calm, it could be excited, curious, etc., etc. So you can type it in the chat box and let me know what exactly are you feeling. And these could be multiple emotions, by the way. So I'm just going to wait for 30 40 seconds, and there's a little lag of 10 12 seconds between what I'm speaking and what you're able to hear, so we will take it accordingly. Okay, because we are doing it for the first time, I hope I am audible, visible. A couple of people have joined right now. uh, so you can say yes and you can tell us what emotions are you going through right now. Could be multiple emotions, could be one. And as and when you are able to tell me the emotions, or you are able to tell yourself what all emotions have you been feeling, um, overwhelmed, confused, excited. Even I have been feeling very excited as well as very nervous since the morning, because there was no electricity, no wi-fi, nothing. And I thought today's live is going to get cancelled, and I was about to just announce it, and luckily we got the electricity and power. So, so we are here, happy and relaxed. Great, Rajeshwari. Thank you so much for sharing it. Now let's understand, before, as and when we go ahead, we'll start talking about emotional intelligence. But before that, I want to ask you, how do you call someone intelligent, or when do you call someone intelligent? I know a lot of you, or a lot of us think that scoring 90% and above, answering all the questions in the classroom and submitting the projects on time is what we call intelligence. But is there any other parameter that you can think of when you are calling someone intelligent? What do you think? Are there other parameters as well, or is just about the scores, academic behavior, etc.? Problem solving abilities in any situation. Intelligent individual is someone who is situationally aware and knows what to do with the limited resources. Great. Very nice. Rajeshwari, thank you. And creatives, thank you so much for answering. We will dig deeper into what exactly is in emotional intelligence. Uh, but here, as you said, ability to solve problems, ability to use resources. So what I can understand is, it's not just the knowledge, but it's about the use and application of knowledge. I might have knowledge about how to drive a car. Car has four wheels, car has a steering, there's a gear, there's a brake, there's a clutch, etc. But when I sit there, I don't know what to use first, what to do, how do I start, where is the keyhole? I have no idea. So am I intelligent? No, I'm not. I am just aware. I just know theoretically that how to drive a car, but I don't know how do I drive a car. So that's the basic difference. Even if you are theoretically very sound and you are not able to apply those things in your life, you won't be called or considered intelligent. And the same thing goes with our emotions as well. When we are able to recognize, understand, and manage them. Absolutely, yes. Ability to understand yourself emotionally and take important decision and act in a proper manner. Let me share my screen, and now comes my favorite part where I just write and draw. Okay. So we are going to talk about EI, emotional intelligence, right? It's a 2-day webinar, and today we are going to talk about the understanding of emotional intelligence, and we are going to discuss your emotional side. Uh, okay, and tomorrow we'll be talking about other factors and practical techniques of applying emotional intelligence. So, as I said, it has three things to understand. Someone will be called emotionally intelligent once they are able to recognize कि मैं कौन से इमोशन फील कर रहा हूँ, कब फील कर रहा हूँ, कैसे फील कर रहा हूँ. Okay, then understand, they are able to understand the reasons behind it, understand the causes, understand the triggers, and they are able to manage all of it properly in different situations. This is emotional intelligence. Plus, it is not just about self, not just about yourself. It also is about other people. So, emotional intelligence is not just about how you recognize, understand, and manage your emotions, but also how you recognize, understand, manage understand and respond to others' emotions. Now, someone is saying that I I am hospitalized. I am not very well. I am going through this problem in my life. And you are the manager. And you are saying, okay, no problem. Tomorrow you should come on time to the hospital. Sorry, to the office. And it's okay. Every time it happens. It happens with everyone. You are a counselor. A client is telling you that, I lost my father. And your response is, thank you so much for telling this. No problem. It's absolutely fine. It happens with everyone. Everyone dies. What do you think? Is this counselor emotionally intelligent or the manager that we talked about? Yes or no? You can type it in the chat box. Yes, they are emotionally intelligent. No, they are not. And if no, then why are they not emotionally intelligent? They responded, not at all. And why? What is the reason behind that? Is this the response that you would want someone to give you? No, right? So before we talk about others, because now this is not the right response, and we will talk in detail about what kind of responses should be there and what exactly is it called. There are different components of emotional intelligence. But let's first of all ask this question to you. How would you rate yourself out of 10? How emotionally intelligent are you based on the things that we just discussed? Recognizing your emotion, understanding your emotion, managing your emotions in different situations, and able to understand and respond to others' emotions as well. So, how would you rate yourself? Zero being not emotionally intelligent at all, and 10 being perfectly emotionally intelligent. How would you rate yourself? 9 out of 10. Great. Awesome. Very nice. Bright future. Definitely. Your name says it. You have a great, bright future as well as present. If you're 9 out of 10 intelligent, great. Very nice. Even I want to be 9 out of 10. Rajeshwari, 7 out of 10. Ridhima, 5 out of 10. Okay. Good. So now that we are aware about how close or how far are we from being emotionally intelligent out of 10, let's understand different components of it. Okay? Before that, it was given by Daniel Goleman. Emotional intelligence as a concept was given by Daniel Goleman. He came out with different components, 5 components. Okay, what are those 5 components? The components of EI are: first is self awareness. I'm just naming all of them, then we'll discuss. Then comes self regulation. Third is social skills. Fourth is empathy. And last but not the least is motivation. So these are the five components of emotional intelligence. Self awareness, which is knowing about yourself. Okay, getting aware about your emotions, getting aware about what you are feeling, when you are feeling, what is triggering you, right? Who is the one that you feel safe with, who's the one that you feel angry with, okay? And when do you feel what emotions, everything. That is self awareness. मुझे कब अच्छा लगता है, मुझे कब बुरा लगता है, मैं कब गुस्सा हो जाता हूँ या हो जाती हूँ, etc. That is self awareness. When you are able to manage, when you're able to start managing those points that you have just become aware about, okay, then is the second component, which is called self regulation. You are able to regulate your emotions yourself. So that is why I always say that awareness is not, is just the half step to change, is not the complete step to transformation. अवेयरनेस इज गुड, ग्रेट, मैं बहुत ज्यादा अवेयर हूँ कि मुझे ना सिगरेट छोड़ देनी चाहिए, मैं बहुत सिगरेट पीता हूँ, मुझे मुझे अल्कोहल से दूर रहना चाहिए, मुझे जंक फूड नहीं खाना चाहिए, मुझे जिम नहीं मुझे जिम जाना चाहिए. आई एम वेरी सेल्फ अवेयर. बट एट द सेम टाइम मैं जिम नहीं जाता हूँ, सोता रहता हूँ, दिन में 10 सिगरेट स्मोक करता हूँ, हर वीकेंड जाके लोगों के साथ जंक फूड खाता हूँ, बहुत ज्यादा अल्कोहल कंज्यूम करता हूँ. So is awareness good? I don't think so. Or is awareness enough? No, no. Okay. Because I have seen a lot of people, lot of my friends who are extremely self-aware, but not at all self-regulated. आप उनको कुछ भी बताओ, उनका जवाब होगा, मुझे पता है, मुझे पता है मेरी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, इतना मुझे मत बताओ. ठीक है, मुझे सब पता है, मेरा मुझे कोई समझता नहीं है. मैं करना चाहता हूँ पर मैं कर नहीं पाता हूँ. Have you seen those people? Yes, no, who are aware about everything, but action wise they are not doing anything. Have you seen such people in your friends circle, in your families, in your classroom, etc.? Yes. Thank you so much for your response. And I am sure everyone, or mostly everyone, would have met. If not met, then maybe a part of them somehow is aware, but they are not taking action, which then converts into self-regulation when they become aware, when they start taking action, when they're able to, manage those emotions, etc. Now there are social skills which are mostly towards external side, towards in your office, in your school, in your colleges, right? Whoever you meet, it is for mostly for others, right? So in the society, what skills do you need? And those skills basically is definitely emotional intelligence, right? Under emotional intelligence, a lot of times comes your communication. मुझे गुस्सा आ गया तो मैंने सामने वाले को बहुत सुना दिया, मेरे को 10 लोग देख रहे थे बट आई डिडंट केयर, एंड उस टाइम मैंने सब कुछ बोल दिया जो मुझे नहीं बोलना चाहिए था. मैं ऐसा करता नहीं हूँ, राइट? सो it will always drop down to communication when it comes to social skills, because how you behave, how you talk, how you listen, and at the end how you make the other person feel, that is what they will remember about you. And then empathy is about keeping yourself in the other person's situation and trying to feel or trying to understand what they are feeling. Okay, literal definition, empathy is about keeping yourself in other person's shoe, not a literal shoe, but understanding from their point of view कि उस situation में वो कैसा feel कर रहे होंगे. अगर मैं उस situation में होता तो मुझे कैसा लगता, तो मुझे कैसा response चाहिए. That is empathy. And last is motivation. Now motivation is, I know I have to take action, I am taking action, but I need to consistently do it. Okay, so with motivation comes discipline. So we need to understand what all are the things that give us intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. For a long chapter, but we'll not go in detail right now. Just an overview of all the 5 components. That's it. Okay. Now let me stop sharing the screen and talk to you a little about the first topic, which is, self-awareness. Um a lot of times, what happens, we are aware that, we should take care of ourselves, but we don't do that. Okay. And a lot of times we don't even know कि मेरे साथ कुछ बुरा चल रहा है. We get ignorant about it. So I just want to share one story with you, which I often share with everyone wherever I go, and this is one of my favorite stories. बहुत सालों से सुना रहा हूँ, so you might have heard it before, but even if you have, please listen it. Please listen to it. So there, एक बार there's a village. Okay, there's a village where um there's only one cobbler. एक ही इंसान है जिसको जूते बनाने आते हैं. ओके, वही जूते बनाता है, वही सैंडल बनाता है, वही चप्पल बनाता है, वही रिपेयर भी करता है, एंड वही जाके सबको डिलीवर करता है. एंड द रोड्स ऑफ दैट विलेज इज टू बैड. मतलब आप नंगे पाँव तो चल ही नहीं सकते उसमें. इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल बिकॉज इतना इतने ज्यादा स्टोन्स हैं, कैक्टस है, बहुत कुछ है. ओके, सो दिस गाय हु इज अ कॉबलर, he used to make it, उसको ऑर्डर आते थे, and he used to deliver it घर जा जाके. Now one day he went, he was going, he had 2 polythenes. Okay, उसमें 5-6 जूते थे, सैंडल्स थी, and he was going, and अचानक से बहुत ज़्यादा बारिश होने लग गई. It was all stormy, और बहुत ज़्यादा तूफान आने लग गया. And then what happened, उसकी पॉलिथीन फट गई, वो नीचे गिर गई, उसका पैर मुड़ गया, और उसकी चप्पल टूट गई. somehow what he did, मतलब वो जल्दी, मुझे पहुंचना है, घर पहुंचना है, सबको डिलीवर करना है, इतना गंदा मौसम हो रहा है, उसने जल्दी जल्दी सब कुछ उठाया, अपनी चप्पल वहीं छोड़ दी, और भाग भाग के सबको डिलीवर करते हुए वापस घर आया. सो इन दैट 1 foot ही वॉज नॉट वेयरिंग एनीथिंग. एंड आधे रास्ते में उसने कहा, अरे हटाओ, दूसरी चप्पल भी छोड़ो, मुझे बस भागना है, क्योंकि मैं ऐसे चल नहीं पा रहा हूँ, एक चप्पल पहनी है, एक चप्पल नहीं पहनी है. एंड ही स्टार्टेड रनिंग. नाउ नेक्स्ट डे he had 5 other deliveries. अब उसने फिर से डिलीवर करना शुरू किया, फिर से बनाना शुरू किया, एंड ही वाज लाइक, अच्छा ठीक है, मैं पहले सबकी बना लेता हूँ, फिर मैं अपनी बनाऊंगा. एंड उसकी बेटी आई, उसने बोला कि पापा आपको अपनी चप्पल बना लेनी चाहिए. नहीं नहीं, अभी अभी मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, मैं बना लूंगा, मुझे कुछ नहीं होगा, टेंशन मत लो. And every day he used to deliver without wearing any slippers. He had a lot of pain, but he was just ignoring that pain, nothing else. He kept on ignoring and kept on delivering. उसके धीरे 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 पैरों में बहुत ज़्यादा दर्द होने लग गया. ओके, बहुत प्रॉब्लम आने लग गई. And there was a time when he was admitted to hospital because he could not walk, and they had to cut his legs. उनको उसके पैर ही काटने पड़ गए. Now what happened, he came back home and he could not deliver anything. Neither he was able to deliver for others, nor he was able to wear those slippers now, because he did not have the opportunity itself. So I want to understand from you, in one line, what do you understand from this story? What is your takeaway? Okay, let's take 30 more seconds and then we'll begin. I hope I get a couple of responses about the story and your observation. What do you feel about this? Okay, so if you have heard the story and you would like to share it, share your observation or whatever you understood from this, would love to know that. Uh, but for now, let's move ahead. And there's a small activity that I would like to do through a model. It's a model that we have to understand. Okay. Um, and just make a note of, take out your pen or a copy, uh, maybe a notepad, anything. Okay. There's a small trick to become aware about yourself, and that we will understand now. And you can answer these questions to yourself. You need not share it in the chat, although it's open and you can definitely share it. But I am just telling you the homework so that you know how to become aware about your emotions. Okay. So you know that there are multiple emotions that you feel, correct? So you first start with naming the emotions, whatever you know, whatever you basically feel. Name the emotions. Okay. So you, it could be, you'd say, major emotions. I feel happy, I feel frustrated, sometimes I also feel jealous, irritated, angry, calm, excited. Could be any number of emotions. Okay. And now, because you have to become aware about yourself, so one important thing to consider is that you need to be, to spend some time with yourself to understand, because other people telling about you is not self awareness, it's your awareness towards yourself. So you'll have to observe yourself, talk to yourself, sit down with yourself and do these small activities, or answer these small questions, which are, okay, what are the things. So first of all, you name the emotions, and then what are those situations, people, or maybe things that make me feel these. Okay, so it's kind of a journaling that we are doing. Okay, so it's called emotional journaling. So what are those situations, people, things that make me feel these? So let's suppose the name of the emotion that I am feeling right now is happy and excited. So what are those situations, people, and things that make me feel these? uh, I feel when I happy when I'm teaching psychology. I feel excited about trying something new, which is trying YouTube live, etc., etc. Okay. If I'm feeling angry, what are those situations, people, or things that make me feel angry? So what are those? Okay, someone lying, someone someone misbehaving with me, not using the right tone, not using the right words, that might make me feel angry. Okay. So वो सब आपको लिखना है, that what are those situations, and you have to talk to yourself. All right. Once you are done, for now, because this journal will continue tomorrow as well. Okay. How often do I feel this emotion? Okay. And then you can even rate that emotion. Like you rated yourself 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 5 out of 10. So you can even rate your emotions. Okay. So what will happen if you see we are naming the emotion, तो हमें समझ में आ रहा है कि हम क्या क्या फील कर रहे हैं. नॉट नेसेसरी वो गूगल के हिसाब से होना चाहिए या फिर वो साइकोलॉजी की टेक्स्ट बुक के हिसाब से होना है. जो भी मुझे फील हो रहा है, वट एवर आई एम फीलिंग, आई एम जस्ट नेमिंग दैट इमोशंस अकॉर्डिंग टू माई अंडरस्टैंडिंग. Then what is causing that emotion inside me? How often do I feel this emotion? Okay. And then how would I rate that emotion right now? Right now I'm feeling 6 out of 10 happy and 9 out of 10 excited. Okay. Now once you have done this, there's a small fill in the blanks that you have to do, which I would love if you do it right now, or you can even do it later. So as per the challenges that you are facing, as per the problems you are facing in your life, you have to fill this. I feel dash about dash when dash. Okay. So there was a client who had a problem in waking up in the morning. ठीक है. He did not, he used to think that मैं जिम जाऊंगा, मुझे जिम जाना है, मुझे सुबह जल्दी उठना है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. बट द प्रॉब्लम वाज कि वो अलार्म भी लगाता था बट उठ नहीं पाता था. ही न्यू, ही वाज वेरी मच अवेयर, बट उसको समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि मैं क्यों नहीं उठ पा रहा हूँ. ओके. So when I asked him to fill this, he said, okay, I feel lazy and insecure. Very different feelings, but I feel lazy and insecure about waking up when my alarm rings. Okay, so then we further divided into ki lazy or insecure. So he said insecure because when as soon as I wake up and go to office, I see a lot of people younger to my age, and they have done so well, but मैंने कुछ नहीं किया है अपनी life में. So I feel very insecure from when I see them. एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई फील कि मुझे मुझे उठना ही नहीं है, सोते रहो, मैं सोता रहूंगा तो सही रहेगा, कोई है ही नहीं जज करने वाला, एटसेट्रा. ओके. सो हाउ व्हाट डू वी गेट टू नो हियर? दैट व्हाट एम आई फीलिंग अबाउट व्हाट एंड व्हेन एम आई फीलिंग इट. तो मैं क्या फील कर रहा हूँ, किस चीज के बारे में फील कर रहा हूँ, एंड कब फील कर रहा हूँ. इज इट क्लियर? Yes, no? Can you please type it in the chat if you have any questions? I will now be quiet for next 30 to 40 seconds, and I would love to see first of all if you have understood this part. Is there any question related to what we have learned so far? Am I even audible? I'm just A little curious to know. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Rajeshwari, for confirming. I would love to know if you have any question, if you're able to understand what we are talking. And this is for everyone. Otherwise, I would move ahead. All right. So I am moving ahead. Okay. So let's go ahead and start our last segment. Okay. Which is again about understanding our emotions in different aspects, in different situations, whenever there are challenges. And this is a model which I have taught, again, I don't know, 100 times. So some of you might have already known this, but let's understand this because it is very important. And it comes out that whenever we have a problem, there are majorly some sources of problem. Okay. And then there are certain emotions which are attached to those sources. And last is called, what can we do about it? What can I do? Okay. So broadly, there are only four sources of problem. And let's understand this one by one. First is I. I am the problem. I know what I have to do, but I'm not doing it. मैं कर ही नहीं रहा हूँ सही से काम. Okay. I shouldn't have talked to her like this. My parents are so helpful, but I am the problem. I am not waking up early. So when I am the problem, and this is a test, if Rajeshwari is there, great. Other people also who have already learned this. What emotions do you feel when you are the problem? And this question is for everyone. What emotions do you feel when you know that you are the problem? I'll give you a hint. The first one being guilt. If I am the problem, I feel guilty about not taking action, or maybe taking action which I was not supposed to take. Okay. Frustration for sure. Thank you so much. Anger, regret, etc. There could be so many emotions. Okay. Now the other sources of problem are others. That means people accept you, your parents, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your partner, your your manager, your colleagues, anyone. Now others are the sources of problem. वो मेरी बात ही नहीं समझते हैं, मुझे नहीं पता क्या है, उसको मेरे साथ ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. She betrayed me. He was not the right person. He used to um slap me. Others are the problem. Now what are the emotions? For sure there is anger. What other emotions can you think of? I can also think of disappointment, sadness, betrayal. Yes, sadness, thank you. Frustration, sadness, yes. So anger, disappointment, sadness, feeling of betrayal, etc. And then there is a source of a problem, which is situation. मेरे साथ हमेशा ऐसा हो जाता है. मेरा टायर पंचर हो गया, कोविड आ गया, मेरी जॉब चली गई बिकॉज उनके पास पैसे नहीं थे. अभी वॉर हो रहा है इसलिए मेरे एग्जाम्स कैंसिल हो गए. So situation becomes a problem when things are not in your hands. You are not a problem. Your close ones are not a problem, but situation is a problem. Now the major feeling that we feel here is helpless. Okay, and even sometimes hopeless. We don't have any hope at that point of time. And the last one is future. So thinking about future. क्या होगा, मेरी जॉब नहीं लगी तो क्या होगा, अगर ऐसा हो गया तो क्या होगा, हम निकलेंगे तो बारिश हो जाएगी तो क्या होगा, राइट, हमारी रिलेशनशिप नहीं चली तो क्या होगा, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. व्हाट डज फ्यूचर गिव यू? What are those emotions which future give you? Fear. Okay, great. What are the other emotions? Panic, anxiety. Yes, etc. So again, there could be multiple emotions at that point of time. So अगर आप broadly देखोगे तो इन चारों चारों sources के अलावा कोई पांचवा source है नहीं problem का. हाँ, हम लोग उससे specific जा सकते हैं, but there are no other sources of problem. There are so many emotions, and what can I do now? Every source is something that I can do. Now I know if I am the problem. If I am the problem, then what can I do? I can learn from my mistakes and apply them. Okay, I can take action, or maybe take help also sometimes when I know that I am not the right person. I don't know what knowledge should I bring. So skill building. Okay, here it is, skill building. So you build your skills, you start applying, you take action. That is what you can do when it is your fault. You know that you shouldn't have talked to your parents like that in front of public. So next time, okay, you'll prepare yourself that, okay, fine, I will proactively communicate with them that at that point of time, Papa, please don't talk to me about this. Or, you will walk away or you will remain silent. You will learn how to deal with that situation so that you don't feel guilty, frustrated, anger, regretful, etc. Now, if others are the problem, वो मुझे नहीं समझते हैं, so you try and communicate with them. Okay, tell them proactively. all right, or even accept them the way they are. Sometimes we cannot do anything. A lot of times our parents, you don't know, we cannot do anything much about it. We can try and communicate, or we accept them the way they are. And even for them, not just for us, they accept the way their son is, they accept the way their daughter is. So acceptance. And when you know, the last thing is कि जब आपको पता है ये आपकी relationship नहीं चल रही है, आप all the things you have tried, right? This is not where I am supposed to be. This is not the relationship which I desired. Okay, and मैंने सारे efforts डाल लिए हैं, so it is move on. Okay, so that's why sometimes divorces, breakups, okay, are good for people, you know, who were in a toxic environment, who were not in the right relationship, etc. Coming to a situation where we feel helpless, hopeless, what can we do? We can plan. We can plan properly. Okay, first of all, we can try and motivate ourselves कि भाई कुछ तो कर ही सकते हैं situation में. And we can start planning properly. Next time मुझे पता है कि जब भी मैं घर से बाहर निकलता हूँ बारिश हो जाती है. So next time हम क्या करेंगे? Next time से हम at least we can try and keep umbrella or raincoat with us. Okay. मुझे पता है कि मेरी मेरी बाइक में पेट्रोल कम रहता है और जब भी मैं दूर जाता हूँ वो खत्म हो जाता है. So what can I do? That's a situation problem, but it is my skill, right? My point. So what I'll do is I'll prepare myself and I will fill my petrol beforehand. Apart from that, I can seek help. When situation is a problem और आपको पता है आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, so आप किसी ऐसे इंसान से हेल्प मांग सकते हो जो उस सिचुएशन में बेटर डील कर सकता हो या आपकी हेल्प कर सकता हो. एंड लास्ट वन इज फ्यूचर. इट्स द सेम थिंग. यू स्टार्ट प्लानिंग एंड यू स्टार्ट स्केड्यूलिंग थिंग्स. अगर आप आज से अपने फ्यूचर के लिए काम करने लगोगे, एज इन you start working in your present, your future automatically becomes better. And if you don't work for yourself today, your future is definitely not going to be what you desire to be. Now, this entire thing is called flip model. But are you able to understand in what situations, right? What sources are making me feel or are generating what emotions inside me, and what can I do about them? Yes, Rajeshwari, planning and goal setting. Thank you so much for that. So this entire model teaches us or tells us that there are different sources of problems, there are multiple emotions, but at the end of the day the responsibility of handling those emotions come to us. There is no one going to come from sky flying with feathers. ओके आज से मैं शुभम की हेल्प करूंगा और अब मैं सब सही कर दूंगा. ऐसा कोई भी नहीं आने वाला है. We are the one who have to take actions. Okay, we are the one who have to try as much as possible to deal with that situation. Apart from that, this model gives us very much clarity कि मुझे कौन सी situation में क्या feel होता है. Is it clear, by the way? Are you able to understand it? Yes, no, maybe, या कुछ भी question है? Okay, great. Thank you so much. And now just the last thing, and then we'll wrap up. This is your homework. We have already done it. So we have understood the sources कि क्या क्या sources हो सकते हैं, मैं क्या क्या emotions feel करती हूँ या करता हूँ, and then what can I do about it. So today you just have to journal, okay, and through this you have to fill this blank, which is I feel this about this when this, because it will clearly tell you the trigger, क्या ट्रिगर है जो मुझे फील कराता है, जो भी मुझे फील करता है. Okay, so if I'm feeling lazy, what is making me feel lazy, and when is it happening? The most I feel lazy the most when my alarm is ringing, because I now have to wake up, right? And that laziness, uske piche ki cheez hai insecurity, that I don't want to face the world. Similarly, you could feel a lot of things. So there was a client who said, I feel confused about my life when someone asks me about my career or about my job. Okay, so what is the feeling? Confusion. किस चीज के बारे में? भाई मेरी पूरी जिंदगी कंफ्यूजन में चल रही है. कब होता है ऐसा? जब भी कोई मुझसे पूछता है तुम्हारी जॉब कैसी चल रही है, और एनीथिंग रिलेटेड टू दैट. So if we are able to do this, the first step becomes clear, which is self awareness. The first step towards becoming emotionally intelligent. And which brings me to the end of the session, because other things we'll be covering next tomorrow with proper techniques on how do you apply social skills, what kind of things you can do to become emotionally intelligent. बट किसी भी सिचुएशन में अपने साथ, दूसरों के साथ, what exactly am I doing, what am I feeling, how am I responding, okay, मेरा बिहेवियर कैसा है, ये सब फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड थ्रू self awareness. Once I become aware, I can start making the changes as well. So make a list of all those things, all those challenges that you're facing, all those situations, sorry, all those situations where you feel differently, and what do you do in that situation. Okay, apart from what I feel, अब जो नेक्स्ट चीज है वो सिंपल एक क्वेश्चन है. जब भी मैं ऐसा फील करती हूँ, मैं करती क्या हूँ या करता क्या हूँ, व्हाट डू आई डू एग्जैक्टली. सो क्या करते हो जब आप अलार्म फील होता है और लेजी फील करते हो? मैं दोबारा सो जाता हूँ. ओके okay. जब आप एंशियस फील करते हो, जब कोई आपकी जॉब के बारे में पूछता है, तो आप क्या करते हो? मुझे गुस्सा आ जाता है और मैं उनके ऊपर चिल्ला देती हूँ और मैं वहां से चली जाती हूँ. ओके, यू नो, आई फील लोनली. व्हेन डू यू फील लोनली? I feel lonely when someone talks, when I see a lot of friends together and I am sitting alone. So what do you do? I don't know. I don't do anything. I start watching Netflix and I start eating junk food. I start eating junk food, and what does it lead to? It leads to overweight. And how do you feel about this overweight? I don't feel good enough. And that's the reason मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि लोग मेरे साथ टाइम स्पेंड नहीं करना चाहते, इसलिए मैं लोनली फील करती हूँ. तो क्या हुआ? मैं लोनली फील करता हूँ कब? जब मैं लोगों को देखता हूँ एक साथ. और जब मैं लोगों को देखता हूँ एक साथ, तो मैं क्या करता हूँ? मैं वो फीलिंग को अवॉइड करने के लिए मैं आइसक्रीम और जंक फूड खाता हूँ. उससे मेरा वेट बढ़ जाता है. जब मेरा वेट बढ़ जाता है तो मुझे लगता है कि आई एम नॉट गुड इनफ, एंड दैट्स द रीजन लोग मेरे साथ बैठना नहीं चाहते हैं, एंड आई एम फीलिंग लोनली, बिकॉज जब मैं लोगों को देखता हूँ. सो इट्स अ लूप दैट गेट्स क्रिएटेड, and we need to break this loop. So today's homework is just to understand your loop, and I have told you how do you do that. Tomorrow we'll meet again, same timing. But before that, I just have one question. Is it making sense? Are you able to understand? Is there any question, anything that you want to talk about? Next 5 minutes, this live will be open just to answer your questions, and then tomorrow we'll meet again. So I am open to any questions, any comments, anything that you want to share. Okay, I see a lot of reactions. So I hope you are able to understand. If there's any question, we'll just take one more minute. If there's no question, then we'll wrap this up. And thank you so much for joining. I know there are less people. Okay, great. So thank you so much for joining. If you have understood, do this exercise, and we'll meet tomorrow with some practical techniques on social skills, empathy, and some behavior. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Keep learning and keep growing. Yeah, we have a session tomorrow. Oh, okay. One-on-one session. Sure. So if you want to have one-on-one session, you can message on Instagram at the rate Psychoshala, and we can take it from there. Thank you. We are ending the live stream. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.